child.
You push this kid too much and he'll shatter.
Who cannot speak.
Clearly catatonic.
Well, that's not going to work. He's autistic.
A brilliant doctor.
What are you standing there?
Who won't give up.
Tim!
A shocking mystery only they can solve. Together. Richard Dreyfuss in a Bruce Beresford film. Silent Fall, rated R.
These are scenes from The Three Musketeers, the most widely read novel of all time and a world-acclaimed motion picture. But the whole story has not yet been told. There's much, much more to come.
Push, Porthos! Exert yourself!
The High Adventure, the brawling action of Alexander Dumas' historic novel. Everyone knows there are not just three musketeers. D'Artagnan takes the king's oath to make it the Four Musketeers. And here they come, the Four Musketeers, starring Oliver Reed, Raquel Welch, Richard Chamberlain, Michael York, Frank Finlay, Christopher Lee, Geraldine Chaplin, Jean-Pierre Cassel, Simon Ward, Faye Dunaway, and Charlton Heston.
I will not assist in your private murders, madam.
The death of Buckingham for the death of D'Artagnan. Their lives for the sake of France.
You kill Buckingham or have him killed is no matter to me. He's an Englishman and an enemy. But you touch one hair of D'Artagnan's head, and I swear as God is my judge, I'll break you on the wheel with my own hand.
The story of the revenge of Milady. The Four Musketeers. One for all, and all for loving. All for fighting. All for fun.
Away with her.
Somebody get the key!
An all-new production with an all-star cast. The Four Musketeers.
Hey, I'm Eric Hilly. Welcome to my TEC Community. The Four Musketeers, also known as The Four Musketeers, The Revenge of Milady, is a 1974 British swashbuckler film that serves as a sequel to the 1973 film The Three Musketeers, and covers the second half of Dumas' 1844 novel The Three Musketeers. Don't watch this movie alone. That is, watch Richard Lester's The Three Musketeers with it. The two are actually the same film, shot simultaneously. In fact, the cast thought they were making one long movie, to the extent that they were paid for one movie. They later sued, as well they should have. In fact, one who hasn't seen Lester's Three Musketeers might not understand this movie. Videos and DVDs should be released only in a double box. Most Musketeer movies are travesties loosely based on Dumas. The 1993 version with Chris O'Donnell is a case in point. It uses little more than the names of characters, and it's woefully inadequate. The scriptwriter in Lester's Musketeers movies was George MacDonald Fraser, author of the Flashman series. And Fraser, unlike writers of all other Musketeer movies, seems to have read the book. Some of the wildest things in both movies, for instance, Buckingham's Shrine to Anne of Austria, are actually from Dumas. The script, rambunctious and silly as sometimes is startlingly close to the book. Rumor has it that Lester envisioned Musketeers as a project for the Beatles. If this is true, he's fortunate he lost them. The cast is uniformly wonderful. Oliver Reed, Richard Chamberlain, and Frank Finlay are perfect in their roles. Finlay is particularly marvelous as he, not a large man, is able to portray the huge, blustering Porthos. Michael York is a fun D'Artagnan. Faye Dunaway and Christopher Lee are suitably evil. Rachel Welch, the Pamela Anderson of the late '60s, shows a flair for light comedy that was not often utilized. Most of her other movies highlight her. Other talents. Charlton Heston is the anchor at the center of the film as the scheming Richelieu. He doesn't have much screen time, but his presence dominates the movies, as well it should. Lester also has small parts filled with amazing talents, including Spike Milligan and Roy Kinnear. Keep your eye on a genuine Frenchman, Jean-Pierre Cassel, as the king, and, much later, in Lester's Return of the Musketeers, as Cyrano. He's a delight in every scene. Lester's locations are fabulous. His France looks lived in. One gets the sense of the long, medieval period that has decayed by the time of D'Artagnan in the early 1600s, and of a struggling monarchy dominated by the cardinal trying to rebuild it. Even Cardinal Richelieu, who wasn't really evil, comes off as three-dimensional. Compare Heston's subtle performance to Tim Curry's bizarre, anti-historical, one-dimensional inquisitor and fool in the 1993 version. Being the 4 Musketeers, there are many sword fights. Lester somehow is not a great action director, but he somehow manages to make each duel unique and funny. In The Four Musketeers, he's given us a duel on the ice between York and Lee that's very funny. And the climactic duel in the church is sublime. In 1989, Lester released Return of the Musketeers with the same cast. Fraser's brief script for that movie, about 100 minutes, gives us the gist of 20 years after, and is quite amusing and a good coda for the series. It's a shame Lester didn't get a chance to do The Man in the Iron Mask with a J.M. Fraser script in the same cast. The version with Jeremy Irons and John Malkovich will do, though it's darker and less loyal to Dumas. On the whole, The Three Musketeers and The Four Musketeers are the best musketeer movies ever made. They star men and women who were at the top of their profession at the time. The scripts are superb and there's not a wasted moment. Do not accept lesser substitutes. And now, our TEC movie event, The Four Musketeers. Start right now. On the Eric channel.
Where would he have been without us, I should like to know? Or we without him? Ah, that was in the old days, you see, when we were indeed one for all, and all for one.
I had a dream, and here's the conclusion I came to. Life in that place wasn't like it is here.
In 2 days, it'll be happening again.
Should I get you some ice?
You're very kind.
This is it. The moment of truth. Show me your hedgehog. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, it's wonderful.
Kinds of Kindness in select theaters June 21st. Rated R.